Hey everyone, thanks for stopping by the movie hangout. Darth Maul canceled. That's a topic of this video. But before I can jump into the baffling decision to completely remove one of the most popular villains in the Star Wars series, if you go on over, click subscribe, comment, like, I'd really appreciate it. Okay, so if you're a fan of Star Wars, if you're a fan of the prequels, episodes 1, 2, and 3, then you're going to be a fan of Darth Maul, especially episode 1. Because, I mean, let's just face it, he was a cool character. He looked cool. He had very little dialogue, but he sounded cool. And above all, his fighting scenes, his lightsaber skills were next to none. I mean, and what was cool about it too was you could tell it wasn't CGI. He was not a CGI character. He was a skilled sword fighter. Everything he did was within the realm of possibility, but you just don't see that in real life because nobody's that amazing, is that athletic at sword fighting. And the genius of that character comes from a guy named Ray Park. He's been in the movie Sleepy Hollow. He played the Headless Horseman. If you watch that movie, you'll see his sword fighting skills, and there's some similarities between that and Darth Maul, which is really, really cool. He also played, I believe, the character Toad in the first X-Men movie. But unfortunately, he was supposed to reprise his role here of Darth Maul, and Kathleen Kennedy made the, quote, creative decision to remove him. So here I'm at The Hollywood Reporter. Obi-Wan Kenobi Darth Maul scenes cut. Luke Skywalker replaced during creative overhaul. Mauled. Ray Park, who originated the character with The Phantom Menace, was expected to reprise as the character, but was then written out, according to multiple sources. Really sad. Darth Maul, a chief antagonist of Ewan McGregor's Obi-Wan Kenobi, who first appeared in Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace, is not expected to appear in the series. But sources tell The Hollywood Reporter not only was the Sith Lord initially slated to return to the live-action Disney Plus series as a key villain, actor Ray Park was in active prep to reprise his role as Maul. That, however, was before those scenes were scrapped amid a creative overhaul. So when you see the word creative overhaul, that is like corporate slang for, oh my gosh, panic mode. We don't know what we're doing. We're just going to throw some stuff together and hopefully people like it. That's basically what that is. It's a way of saying that the company came up with an idea and they were all in on it, and then somebody with a little more authority stepped in and was like, well, I don't like that, and then they scrapped the last second. That's basically what that means, without having to say it. That ultimately saw other antagonists, including Darth Vader, added to the show. Yeah, so one thing that they do in entertainment is they do pollings, and it's actually pretty scientific. Strangely, is that they will actually poll names of characters, names of actors, and they kind of have like an algorithm, and they'll put that name into the algorithm, and they'll see like what the score is. So basically, what is the score? And the higher the score a person gets, the higher the rating a character gets, the more awareness the public has of that character, or the higher the favorability the public has of that character or that actor. And that goes into a lot of the casting choices and the character choices. But like really the last like 5 years, since like 2016, Disney has been adding characters and actors that people just don't care about. Like they don't. I mean, the people, if you go on the Twitter thread of a lot of the actors, they're crazy people. Like, they're just like really hateful and mean. And people aren't going to work hard 40 plus hours a week and then pay a part of their paycheck to watch a movie that has somebody in it that hates them. I mean, who would do that? Nobody's going to buy a product made by a person that hates you. But Disney just doesn't really get that. So what they're doing here is they're trying to save face and they're trying to make some of their money back. So what they're doing is they're getting rid of a popular character, Maul, Darth Maul, with an even more popular character. I mean, Darth Vader pretty much is Star Wars, right? I mean, it's like you got Luke Skywalker, lightsabers, the Force, Darth Vader. Like that's what you need to have for Star Wars. So they're getting rid of a popular character and they're swapping him out with an even more popular character when there's no reason why they can't have both. But Disney, because of ideological reasons, they won't get rid of just the hanger-on, made-up characters that nobody cares about because they have to have those filler, weird characters in their film, in their story to fit a kind of like a narrative agenda they have that doesn't serve what we love about Star Wars. And everybody points it out because it's true. People aren't making it up. It's real. I'm gonna mess this guy's name up. I'm gonna try. It's Hossein Amini was the original writer who worked with director Deborah Chow on the 6th episode series. And while it was reported that pre-production paused in early 2020 because Lucasfilm was unhappy with the scripts, the reasoning behind the pause is a little more layered. According to sources, Chow showed the scripts to Star Wars stewards Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau, who were coming off the success of The Mandalorian. See, these two guys should have just done the series, Obi-Wan, right? They should have. I mean, if Disney, if Kathleen Kennedy really wanted Star Wars to be amazing, she would basically just write these guys a blank check and just say, spend what you want, just keep it under $1 billion, go crazy, go hog wild, sky's the limit in your creativity, just do it. Just keep it within a reasonable amount of money in the budget. That's what she should have done. Freshly launched in November 2019 and deep into work on season 2. Sources note that Filoni and Favreau were concerned about Obi-Wan covering similar ground as Mandalorian. Do you think? They pretty much take place on the same planet. The lone wolf and cub-like story of Kenobi coming out of hiding to protect a child-age Luke Skywalker. Maul was one of the villains who would participate in the hunt for the pair. Vader was nowhere to be found in this faraway galaxy at this stage, according to those with knowledge of the project. Also, Filoni and Favreau pushed Chow and the show to go bigger, according to several sources. In any case, those concerns made their way to Lucasfilm head Kathleen Kennedy, well, there you go, who pressed the pause button. What did I tell you? I didn't even have to read this part, and I already knew that's what happened, right? Once you figure out how Lucasfilm works and Disney works, you can pretty much, it's like looking in a crystal ball, you can figure it out. It is unclear how far along the process things initially unraveled. A boy was chosen to play young Skywalker. Good for him. I hope he does well. I hope he has a fun time. But no scenes with him were shot. As far as Park's Maul goes, the picture is more cloudy. One source says Park was on set for pre-production and was also involved in stunt training. Yeah, oh, by the way, Ray Park is also an amazing stunt coordinator and directing stunts. Like, he's fantastic. The source says footage of Park may have been shot, although another source says it could have been test footage. Whatever the case, Park was back as Maul, or so he believed. In the Overhaul, however, Maul was written out. One source says it was Filoni that conceptually keyed in on a way for Vader to be brought back as a big bad with the Grand Inquisitor, a character made popular by Filoni in the animated series Star Wars Rebels, but also put in the story. A Lucasfilm source contradicted the account, saying Maul was never intended to return for the series, nor did Park come to set. That's a little shady, because either he was there or he wasn't. But here they're saying he wasn't even on the set. So I don't know if I really believe this Lucasfilm source. I think it might have been an intern that Kathleen Kennedy told to call the Hollywood Reporter and say this, and then hang up when they asked who it was. The Overhaul also led to a new search for a young Skywalker, and a new actor was picked. The Hollywood Reporter has learned the new Luke is Grant Feely, whose only credit, according to IMDb, is an episode of Creepshow. That'd be a pretty cool credit to have. Maul stands as one of the more popular villains in Star Wars lore, appearing in animated series including Clone Wars and Rebels, which depicted the final battle between Maul and Kenobi. Maul and Park returned to live action for a cameo in Solo: A Star Wars Story, 2018, that suggested there was more for the actor to do in the galaxy far, far away. Solo bombed, scuttling those plans, but soon fans speculated he could appear in Obi-Wan, given that Maul was responsible for the death of Obi-Wan's master, Liam Neeson's Qui-Gon Jinn. And it goes on talking just about that. What do you think? Do you think that Ray Park was actually on set and he was doing stunt choreography? He probably, you know what? Here's what I think. I think he was. I think he was on set. I think he even got fitted for a wardrobe. I think he did makeup tests, and I would even go to say that he probably did a little bit of the stunt choreography, not completely nailed down, but at least roughly kind of did kind of like a mock-up of what it would be. That's what I think, and I think that Lucasfilm is just denying that Ray Park was even there to save face, because they know that Ray Park is not going to speak out and speak ill of Lucasfilm, because Ray knows that, he could be replaced. And so Kathleen Kennedy knows Ray's not going to say anything. She could say whatever she wants. Let me know, what do you think? Do you think that Darth Maul was never in the plan for the story? Or do you think the Lucasfilm is just kind of like throwing ideas up against the wall and seeing what sticks? Let me know, comment below, and as always, if you want to get future rants, reviews, or original content, click subscribe. Later.